Let's move on now to the Faculty Association report. Welcome, Peter.
Thank you. Chair Snell, Vice Chair Quinones-Perez, trustees, Superintendent President Jeffrey, and all the college community. I'm sure one of these evenings I'll be able to come before you and just talk about all the really positive things that have been going on, but tonight's not going to be that night. As part of the FA's new goal of trying to keep you better informed, we'd planned to send you a monthly update on what's been happening. Unfortunately, some things cropped up recently and delayed our preparation of that document. And I was only able to send it on to you a short time ago, but hopefully you'll still find it useful. So knowing you haven't had a chance to study it, I wanted to touch on a few of the major points from it and emphasize what we see as an urgent call to action. First, over summer, there was a unilateral and we believe illegal change to past practice. We heard that chairs were being asked to recommend for cancellation sections that had already had 18 or more students enrolled. This has never happened before, and it violates past practice of at least 30 years. We immediately alerted the district that we believed it was a unilateral change, that it violated our contract and was an unfair labor practice. They did pull back for the fall, but they've told us that they reserve the right to do so in the future. So we're continuing to discuss this in labor management meetings, but we may still need to file a grievance or a PERB charge. Being willing to cut sections that already have 18 folks enrolled in them, it's a terrible message to send to students. Next, we see the college's budget being balanced on the backs of students and part-time faculty. The proposed budget that you'll be hearing about tonight shows a healthy reserve for this year, and it already leads to a projected balance of over 5% for the following year, even before the inevitable injection of one-time money. But students and part-time faculty are being asked to carry this burden through a huge reduction in class offerings. We're still in a crisis centered on enrollment management, but there seems to be a puzzling lack of urgency. SMC should be gathering and analyzing much more student data in order to chart a path forward to where our revenues under the student-centered funding formula can overtake the funding that we have under the hold harmless clause. We've got so many innovative, life-changing programs for students. We have to support these wider educational opportunities and not limit them. Next, we're seeing ineffective and damaging efficiency measures being used to drive scheduling. The district's implementation of your 100% efficiency budget goal for class enrollment for this year has caused widespread disruption, anxiety, and confusion. Student demand for full sections has been extremely high, and that's a great sign, but we don't have a functional metric for when and if sections should be added to meet demonstrated student demand. What's more, international students aren't even counted in the measure of departmental efficiency. It doesn't make any sense. We're seeing students' educational goals being derailed and driving them to go elsewhere. These sort of broad formulaic cuts don't take the diversity of departments and programs into account. Each department deserves access to a range of options for how to downsize temporarily in ways that can preserve the integrity of their programs and the effectiveness of the instruction that students up till now have had every right to expect. Winter offerings have been slashed, and the original spring teaching hour allotment saw programs with proposed cuts of 35, 40, and almost 50% compared to last spring. This decimated the ability of departments to be able to offer the sections that will be needed for students to complete certificates and programs of study, and a number of departments didn't even have enough hours to meet their full-time faculty contractual commitment. All this has meant that short-term student goals, like just as simple as enrolling in a much-needed class or completing a certificate or maintaining a minimum number of units, has been undermined, leaving students frustrated and fending for themselves. In the longer term, we believe it's going to drive students elsewhere, including our neighboring community colleges, and after which there'll be little incentive for those students to return to SMC. Sort of in the same ballpark, we're hearing now that there appear to be huge cuts to emeritus on the horizon. We're just hearing of greatly reduced numbers of sections being offered for winter and spring, along with excessively oversized sections. Emeritus students and faculty have been among the most loyal and engaged of all SMC community members, and they deserve to have their particular needs better served by our college. We also see that dedicated long-term part-time faculty are being abandoned. The proposed overall 20% cut to weekly teacher hours in spring translates into a 40% cut to part-time faculty hours. That's devastating, 40%. Seasoned, dedicated part-time faculty are a valuable resource to students and to the programs they serve, but they've been summarily left without work, many after decades of service to SMC. There's an apparent acceptance among some at SMC for downsizing its offerings, and this could lead to a damaging and dangerous spiraling collapse of the college. There's no articulated plan in the wake of these broad section cuts. There's no evidence of a multi-phase strategy where the student demand is considered, or a commitment to SMC's future as being one of the leading educational institutions. We're not seeing those commitments. We have to wonder whether the cuts are evidence of an unstated plan to radically shrink and reinvent the college as some different sort of entity, or perhaps they're just evidence that there is no plan. We don't know. But in the wake of all of that I've just said, the Faculty Association's Representative Assembly voted unanimously last week to support the following statement, which condemns these cuts. So the statement is, the Representative Assembly opposes the draconian cuts to current and future schedules driven by a flawed efficiency formula and sees the district's lack of effective planning as evidence of an inadequate long-term commitment to the future of this college as a robust institution. These current administration practices are short-sighted, unsustainable, lacking in a coherent vision, and place an inequitable burden on students and faculty with no indication that the administration will be expected to carry a similar weight. So that was the statement. So I think, students, just like Ren, who you heard earlier, employees in our community are urgently waiting to hear and to know what you see as the future of our college. And I was going to end it there, but I just received a letter from the president of the Los Angeles Community College District Faculty Union. He approached us after hearing from others that SMC seems to be losing its way, and he couldn't make it here tonight to speak in person, but he's allowing me to read the following statement from him in his role. So here's his statement. Dear board members, my name is James McKeever, and I am the AFT 1521 Los Angeles Faculty Guild President. AFT 1521 stands in solidarity with the students and faculty of Santa Monica College, opposing the draconian cutting of classes on your campus. These cuts will limit the offerings to our students, hampering their ability to complete, graduate, and transfer. While this may make fiscal sense to some, it reduces our students to a commodity and makes our faculty disposable. We are not a for-profit institution. We are a public good and in the service of our communities. We have a duty to our students and the surrounding community to ensure that Santa Monica College not just maintains its current enrollments, but works to grow back to what it once was. This is possible, as our district has demonstrated through concerted efforts to increase enrollments and is nearing pre-pandemic enrollment levels. Our students are not just customers. They rely on your campus for hope and for their futures. Your faculty has shown a commitment to your students and campus, and now they are easily let go in the name of efficiency. This will make it difficult for faculty to trust you and be motivated to invest in your campus again. Please do the right thing and restore your classes for your students, community, and faculty partners. Sincerely, A. James McKeever. And that's all I have to say tonight. Thank you, folks.
Thank you, Peter.
I have a question. Peter, you said, and if I don't get the wording right, you said there were some departments that didn't meet their contractual loads. What departments are you talking about? Are you saying that full-time faculty didn't get to meet their load?
So the original allotments given to departments for the spring did not provide enough hours for full-time faculty members to have their 15 LHE for the semester. So there were a number in the original allotments of hours for the weekly teacher hours, yes.
Can you share what departments?
I believe kinesiology, I think ECE, I believe photography was right on the edge, and I'm not sure about modern languages. Okay. But again, the sorts of cuts that they were originally told to make really left almost no room for any part-time faculty member, let alone the full-timers.
How do they get paid if they don't meet load?
I don't think things will stay this way because we're dialoguing and discussing it. But the fact that the offerings that were first given to departments led to that as an outcome is really troubling.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, Peter, I think you might have said that you were providing us the information. I'd be interested in the points you made tonight and also your statement.
It's in the email.
You see the email. He sent the email late.
There is an email that I sent, and I'll make sure also that it's on our SMCFA website for folks who are also listening in can go and see some more of the details. Thank you.
Okay, and if you just sent it, I didn't bring my phone tonight. So, thank you.